Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first ever CPAC GB, our inaugural event. I'm delighted that we're joined by friends and allies from across Britain and across the world. What we all have in common is a belief in liberty and sovereignty. We're patriots. We believe in Western civilization. But for too long, we've been fighting an uphill battle against the radical left, who are determined to destroy everything that we have built. They presided over managed decline, economic stagnation and deindustrialization, cultural and spiritual nihilism, open borders and rising unrest. This week, we will have yet another Prime Minister installed in Downing Street, Andy Burnham, the 7th within 10 years. What do you all think of Andy Burnham?
Boo.
I've been there. I know that nothing will change, and he will end up just as unpopular as his predecessors, because the system remains the same unelected bureaucrats and judges, the same legacy media, the same infiltrated institutions, what we in Britain call the blob and the Americans call the deep state. CPAC GB is all about bringing together the people who want to fight the blob, who want to galvanize the right and take on the system. The free speech warriors, the Bitcoiners, the people fighting illegal migration, CBDCs, regulation, and the overmighty state. And we are joined in this fight by allies from around the world. And I'd like to introduce Matt Schlapp, who's come all the way from the United States of America, the CPAC Chairman, to say a few words about our global movement. Over to you, Matt.
Thank you, Liz. This is a big deal. I've been chairman of CPAC for over a decade, a little bit longer tenure than some of these PMs you just referenced. And one of my biggest hopes was one day we would reconnect with this very special relationship between our two countries and have a CPAC here in London. So this is a big dream that's beginning right at this moment. Now, it's at the Andrew Cooper, thank you for coming all the way from Australia. Andrew is he's our partner, I guess you'd say down under, thanks for being here. But you know what a big deal this is. And it's happening at just the right moment. I mean, the preacher is here starting us off in prayer, which is appropriate, to address this moment, this amazing moment that's happening in your country, and reconnecting it with what is a historical moment in America, where the American people have been told that what they believe is evil, racist, intolerant, old-fashioned, judgmental, right? And they woke up and they said, we're tired of being lectured to by these Marxists who have infiltrated every one of our institutions. What's in my heart that God knit is not evil, it's good. Why do they call what's good bad, what's good evil, right? What's right wrong? They do that to us, they do that to our kids, they do that to our grandkids. And one of the things we're doing here in London right now is saying, no more. Stop propagandizing our children and our families and stop taking over our institutions. Now, you will believe that what you're fighting with the blob, Liz, you believe that this blob is a uniquely British problem, that you have a problem within your government and your society. What people like Andrew and myself, and I see Declan Ganley back there, Declan knows this in his country, is the reason we're coming together is not because we're globalists. We're kind of the opposite. The reason we're coming together is that we must share and realize this most important fact. What they are doing in your country to destroy it, they are doing in my country to destroy it. It's all the same tactics, maybe different names and different people. And so we invite you for the next 3 days to meet all these wonderful people that are assembled here. You're not going to agree on everything. Everyone has different tactics and different ideas of how we're going to save our countries, and in the end, as Liz said in her great book, actually save civilization. And I invite you to join this CPAC enterprise, which is going all over the world, and it's so many countries, and I'm getting too old to remember things. I'm just going to whip through them. I've told you Andrew Cooper's here from Australia, but we'll be in Japan, we'll be back in Argentina, we'll be back in Poland. I already saw Michael, who's here as our partner in Poland. We're going to be in Germany, in Italy, obviously Great Britain. We haven't given up on Western Europe at all. We're going to be in the Balkans, and we're going to be in Guatemala. Those are just some of the countries we're in. And in the end, the theme that's going on in America is the theme that's going on in all these countries. In my country, it's America versus socialism. It's that simple. It might go on forever, but this is the fight of our lives. And I ask you today to recommit yourself to that fight. Do it for the beauty and the history of these great countries, our two great countries. But more importantly than that, do it for your kids. Do it for your grandkids. And do it because that's what God wants you to do. Thank you for letting me be with you today.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. Over the next 3 days, you can expect to hear from some of our most foremost activists, journalists and campaigners, and also leading politicians from across Britain, Europe and the world. Maybe you're going to see a future Australian Prime Minister, maybe a future British Prime Minister, maybe a future President of the United States of America. But what we're going to be talking about at CPAC are the issues the media ignore but the public want dealt with. I'd like to thank everybody who has helped put this first ever British CPAC together, the organising committee, the volunteers, the CPAC US team and Matt and Mercedes Schlapp, the hotel and the police and the security teams. Before we start on this conference, I'd like to take time to pay our respects to the late Ann Widdecombe, who was brutally murdered in her home last week. I've known Ann for over 20 years. She was a deeply principled politician who stood for the very values we are fighting for at CPAC: free speech, patriotism, and the family. She was courageous and fearless in standing up to the leftist drift we have seen in Britain. She was a kind and generous human being, and we are all so devastated that she has been taken from us. Now let's reflect on Ann's remarkable life. We're now going to have a minute's silence in tribute to Ann Widdecombe. Well, thank you everyone for your fantastic support. We're looking forward to a great 2.5 days here at CPAC. Let the conference commence. There you go.